everybody. So I am gonna show you guys, I'm gonna take you with me on this little cooking journey. We're gonna make some carnitas, but in the crock pot. So I basically got everything ready already, you guys can maybe see. All right, so we got some seasoning, we got some garlic, we got some lime juice. I put some chicken stock, but you don't have to use chicken stock. You can use also just water, and then of course orange juice. I do have to just quarter an onion real quick, and I've already also prepped the meat. So I washed it. We're using pork butt roast today, so I've already prepped it. It's ready to go. So all we need to do is kind of throw it in. I'm gonna show you guys how we do it. Just gonna quarter here. Don't need to be all too fancy with it. Most of this is gonna get used, and actually we're making some beans as well, so we're gonna do that as well. I'll show you guys. Okay, so we got everything here. I've already, like I said, washed, rinsed the butt roast, and so we're gonna throw in some seasoning. We got just oregano. I use chicken bouillon sometimes just for the stock in there. Some cumin, garlic, onion, pepper, and salt. So this doesn't really matter. That's all gonna get mixed in there as well. But before we do, I'm just gonna sprinkle some on this. This is gonna be actually the bottom side. So I'm gonna flip this as I put it in, and I'll show you guys why. Just gonna throw just some in there, and then the rest will kind of just go into the stock that we're doing. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick this guy up, and we're just gonna flip him. And here's why we flip them, because I like to have this fat cap on the top, and so sometimes I'll layer some onion and stuff on there. I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. But yeah, then we have about 2 cups, about a cup and a half of orange juice. That's just gonna go straight in. I like to coat it. Some chicken stock, or you could just use water as well. And we're not going to cover completely, and then there's just a little bit of lime juice in here. And then we're going to put in half an onion as well. I'm just going to push that down in there. And then some garlic cloves. I like to use bigger pieces because I don't like biting into garlic, so that way I can pick those out later. And then just gonna get those juices in there, that seasoning, and the rest is gonna just go on top and in. And many times I'll just give it a little shake. That's not probably the best cooking technique, but I don't really care. And then I'll throw some onion on top. This will start to sweat as it kind of steams in there, and we're not submerging it completely, so some of this fat will start to render down a little bit as it cooks, because we're going to slow cook it. It's going to cook, it's going to cook on low. So we're setting that on low. We're just going to leave it. We're not going to be messing with the lid. We're just going to let it go low and slow, and typically for 6 to 8 hours, depending how big. This is a 7-pound roast. Bone in. I couldn't find boneless this time, but I usually like boneless. But it is bone in, as you'll see. I'll show you later. All right, and so now we set it and we wait. Yeah, I almost forgot. We also saved a quarter of the onion because we're gonna do some beans. Maybe we'll make a burrito or something. I'm not really sure, but we need beans anyways. So we're just gonna generously salt this, a few pinches, maybe 3. Okay, maybe 4. There we go. And then I'm just gonna fill with water here, but I don't need to show you guys that. And then we'll also let this cook for about 4 hours approximately, depending on your crock pot and stuff. But this is great too, because then you just set it and you walk away, and then you just come back later and deal with it. But yeah, I'm gonna set this to cook, and I'll check back in with you guys. Okay, guys, we're back. It has been quite a few hours. It's been about 6 hours. We went and caught a movie. So that's the great thing about doing meals like this, is that you set it and you forget it, essentially, right? And we're coming back now. We're just going to pull it out. We're actually going to shred it. So I'll get you guys a good shot of it, and we'll shred it up. All right, guys, so we pulled the meat out. It's very hot right now, but if you guys remember, there was like a fat cap or like a layer of fat on the top. So I'm gonna have to peel all that off because I don't like, me personally, I like it kind of, I don't like it in there at all. So I'm gonna pull that all off. It kind of just peels off, to be honest, as you'll kind of see in this shot. Yeah, it kind of just peels off. I just kind of set that aside. I don't know. I just don't like it if trying to like take a bite of meat and then there's just like a big fat piece in there. So yeah, we're just gonna peel that off and take it to the side right away. And then we also got to take the bone out, which it should just peel right off. It's really hot. So I'm just gonna get in here. Whew. There we go. Let's just separate this meat off of there. Sometimes you'll need a knife, but not usually. So here's that bone piece, which if you can't get boneless, then it is what it is. But if you can, definitely go for boneless, because then it'll just basically just fall apart. So yeah, and as you guys can see, we're just gonna peel a little piece off here. And it just shreds. So we're just gonna kind of shred it up. And remember, it's gonna be pretty hot. Sometimes I'll even use like a knife and just kind of start taking chunks off, and you'll see just pieces falling off. And I got a bowl here. So yeah, I'm gonna shred this all up, and then we'll go on to the next and final step before we get to grub on this. All right, guys, so there's actually one more thing that I want to show you guys before we do, actually, for anybody who may not know, I'm actually a Christian. So I want to share a Bible verse with you guys, just as a means to share Jesus with the world, right? It's Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 10. It says, God saved you by his grace when you believed, and you can't take credit for this because it is a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things we have done, so none of us can boast about it. In verse 10 it says, for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. I'll share verses with you guys here and there as we go on through the video, just to share Jesus with the world. He really changed my life around. I used to be a drug addict and an alcoholic, and he set me free from that. I no longer drink. I no longer use drugs. And I'm just thankful. So I like to share Jesus whenever chance I get. But let's get back into this cooking, guys. So remember, we had put onions and garlic, and you guys will see in this shot, we'd put onions and garlic in our broth, or like our broth technically. So I'm just I'm gonna filter it out. I'm gonna use this mesh filter, or if you don't have a filter, this kind of thing would actually work pretty good too. But I like to get all that fine stuff out. So I'm gonna use the filter. But this has like, it's just like jam packed with flavor. So it would be like just a waste to get rid of it. So I'm just gonna try to strain it out. You get a different strainer, but try to strain out as much as possible, right? And then what people will often do is they'll actually transfer their meat that's already shredded, right? And they'll shred it, and then they'll put it back in there, and then they'll basically serve you out of the meat from the juices, right? And it just adds like a boost of flavor, right? Because we get all those juices from the rendered fat and from the seasoning, that orange juice in there. But what I like to do instead of doing that, I do filter it out, but I'm gonna take you guys with me. I'll get like a scoop. I'll get a scoop in just like one of these little measuring cups or whatever, and kind of like as clean as I can. But I'm gonna move over here, and so I'll kind of do this kind of deal. I'm gonna try to get you guys. Man, I'm gonna work the camera. Okay, so this is kind of what I like to do. I'm gonna throw some meat in here. Oh, we get it sizzle right away. We're gonna fry it up. And then we're gonna use that juice here in a little bit to just add just a blast of flavor into it. So we're just gonna get this going with some hot oil. We got some tortillas going as well. But yeah, we're just gonna fry this up and try not to make a mess. And then every once in a while, I'll hit it with a little bit of the juice in it. With a high temp, it'll kind of cook out. It'll just go. Well, I'll crank up the heat just a little bit, speed up the process. I'm gonna check back in with you guys in just a moment. All right, guys. So I fried it up, and this is like just preference thing. You don't have to do this, but like if you can see here, it's like a little crisp pieces, right? You have taste. Pretty good. Right, but it's completely optional. You do it however you want to do it. But then let's prep one of these tacos and give it a shot. This is where you would salt too, like when you're doing that. Taste it. See if you want to add anything. Should be okay, just depending on how you want flavor, how much flavor you want, how you want it done. But a little bit of lime, some salsa here that we had made and actually released another video. Quick one, just showing you guys how it's pretty versatile, light salsa. Then we're just gonna give it a taste. Pretty good, pretty good. I like the salsa and that little touch of lime. It just all mixes well together. So yeah, you guys give it a shot. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.